Over the Black Sea, a Russian pilot acquires radar lock on an American fighter. His finger hovers over the trigger. Suddenly, the American jet vanishes from his screen. Gone, not retreating, disappeared. Meanwhile, 200 miles over the South China Sea, a Chinese J-20 stalks what it believes is an isolated target. The pilot doesn't realize he's already being tracked by 3 different sensors. He's not the hunter, he's the hunted. And in the Nevada desert, a single aircraft just commanded 3 autonomous attack drones while flying at supersonic speeds without afterburners. The pilot controlled an entire squadron from one cockpit. This isn't science fiction. This is 2025. The question isn't which fighter jet flies fastest or looks coolest in promotional videos. The question is, which aircraft would you bet your life on in actual combat? 5 nations, 5 killing machines, each claiming air superiority. But only one truth remains. Some jets live up to the hype. Others become flying coffins for the pilots inside them. Today we're breaking down the 5 most feared fighter jets dominating global airspace right now. Not marketing brochures, real combat data, declassified capabilities, and exactly why certain aircraft make entire nations reconsider their military strategies. What you'll see at number 1 will shock you. Let's begin. 5. The European Predator. Number 5. Eurofighter Typhoon. In October 2025, Germany committed $4.4 billion to purchase 20 additional Typhoons. You don't spend that kind of money on yesterday's technology. The Typhoon represents Europe's answer to American air dominance, a collaborative effort between Britain, Germany, Italy, and Spain, combining their best engineering minds into a single platform. What makes it feared? Maneuverability. Those distinctive forward canards allow the Typhoon to execute turns that would rip wings off conventional fighters. It dances through the sky at angles other aircraft simply cannot achieve. But here's what changed everything in 2025. Engineers installed a processing system 200 times more powerful than previous versions. Your smartphone doubled in speed over 5 years. This fighter became 200 times smarter in one upgrade cycle. The new ECR's Mk2 radar detects enemy aircraft at ranges that seemed impossible just years ago. Pilots in Kuwait and Qatar already operate earlier versions. Defense analysts call it a game changer for regional air superiority. The Typhoon carries the Meteor missile, a weapon with its own jet engine. It doesn't just fly toward targets, it chases, adjusts, and thinks. Enemy pilots call it the no escape zone because once the Meteor locks on, evasion becomes nearly impossible. The weakness? It's not stealthy. Enemy radars see it coming from significant distances. No fancy radar-absorbing coatings, just raw performance and electronic warfare capabilities. The engineers bet on jamming enemy systems rather than hiding from them. Production is accelerating. The consortium doubled output from 14 to 20 jets annually with plans to hit 30. Turkey wants 40. Saudi Arabia eyes 60 more. With 729 orders secured and 80% of European combat missions flown by Typhoons, this fighter isn't disappearing anytime soon. The Typhoon proves 4th-generation fighters still have lethal capabilities. Just don't ask it to sneak up on anyone undetected. 4. The Russian controversy. Number 4. Russia's Su-57 Felon. Russia calls this their F-22 killer. The reality is significantly more complicated. The Su-57 flies beyond Mach 2 while pulling maneuvers that would black out most pilots. Those thrust vectoring nozzles provide supernatural agility. In close quarters combat, the Su-57 might actually compete with anything flying. November 2025 brought something fascinating at the Dubai Air Show. New 2-dimensional thrust vectoring nozzles. Flattened, rectangular, specifically designed to reduce infrared signature from behind. But here's the controversy tearing through defense circles. Is it actually stealthy? Western analysts say absolutely not. November 2025 defense reports confirmed the Su-57's radar cross-section significantly exceeds the F-22 or F-35. Exposed rivets, protruding sensors, reflective engine nozzles. One assessment was brutal, better classified as a 4.5 generation fighter with partial stealth features. The combat record tells everything. In Syria and Ukraine, the Su-57 stays far from contested airspace. It fires missiles from standoff ranges, never penetrating defended territory. Russian commanders don't trust it in high-threat environments. Production numbers are telling. By mid-2025, Russia fielded 25 to 32 operational Su-57s total. Compare that to over 300 American F-35s. Russia announced plans for 76 total aircraft. They're not there yet. Economic sanctions and manufacturing challenges throttled production severely. Algeria signed for 14 Su-57s, with deliveries supposedly starting in 2025. Given Russia's track record with export commitments, those Algerian pilots will be waiting a while. The weapons capability is legitimate. Internal bays hold 4 R-77 air-to-air missiles. External hardpoints carry frightening air-to-ground weapons. November 2025 footage showed an Su-57 with loaded Kh-38 missiles internally. First time anyone documented weapons actually loaded during flight operations. The verdict: fast, maneuverable, serious firepower, advanced avionics. But not particularly stealthy, barely in production, and pilots seem reluctant to fly it into danger. It's feared because of what it represents, not what it actually accomplishes in combat. 3. The Dragon multiplying. Number 3. China's Chengdu J-20 Mighty Dragon. October 2025 satellite imagery confirmed what Western intelligence feared. China operates more than 300 J-20 stealth fighters. That's more than America's entire F-22 fleet. Current building rate: 100 to 120 per year. Did China steal this design? Almost certainly. In 2007, Chinese hackers penetrated F-35 program files. 4 years later, the J-20 appears with eerily similar features. The layout mirrors Russia's cancelled MiG 1.44. Air intakes resemble the F-35. Forward fuselage looks like the F-22. But they made it work. And they're building it in massive numbers. The J-20 stretches longer than Western fighters, providing serious range. It flies deep into the Pacific and returns home. That range terrifies American naval commanders responsible for protecting carrier strike groups. June 2025 brought a remarkable development: a radar upgrade tripling detection range through silicon carbide crystal breakthroughs. Chinese scientists called it essential for national security. September 2025 debuted improved J-20s with new WS-15 engines, finally providing supercruise capability, flying faster than sound without afterburners. Better fuel efficiency, longer time over target. Genuine game changer. China built a 2-seat version called the J-20S. One pilot flies while the other manages drones and sensors. December 2024 simulations showed one J-20 controlling 2 to 3 combat drones simultaneously with a 95% win rate in every scenario tested. One manned fighter commanding unmanned attackers, overwhelming defenses through sheer numbers. That's not future technology. That's happening right now. The J-20 carries the PL-15 missile with over 120-mile range, outreaching most American missiles. Shoot first from farther away. No close combat needed. The uncomfortable truth? Nobody outside China knows exactly how capable it is. No real combat data exists. Western intelligence suggests stealth capability lags the F-22 and F-35. Engines probably don't match American power. Avionics might lag behind. But quantity has its own quality. 300 J-20s in 300 places. They swarm. They overwhelm. Conservative estimates suggest 800 by 2030, outnumbering every American 5th-generation fighter combined. The Dragon isn't just roaring, it's multiplying exponentially. 2. The networked assassin. Number 2. F-35 Lightning II. over 1,000 built. America and allies operate more F-35s than Russia and China have fifth-generation fighters combined. 3 versions for different missions: F-35A conventional takeoff, F-35B vertical landing, F-35C carrier operations. Same stealth, same sensors, different platforms. August 2025 brought historic news from Nevada. An F-35 completed tests carrying B-6112 nuclear gravity bombs. The message to adversaries: this stealth fighter delivers nuclear weapons deep into enemy territory undetected. The real magic isn't speed or weapons, it's sensors. The F-35 doesn't just see the battlefield, it understands it. 6 cameras provide 360-degree coverage. Pilots literally see through the aircraft, looking down through floors, behind, everywhere simultaneously. Threats identified, prioritized, and shared automatically across the network. 2025 upgrades include AN-158 cruise missiles and Jibu-53 Stormbreaker glide bombs reaching operational capability. Precision strikes against moving targets in all weather conditions. Destroy enemy convoys in snowstorms from 50 miles away without being detected. Each F-35A costs approximately $80 million now. Operating costs drop to $35,000 per flight hour, cheaper than legacy fighters it replaces. Over 15 countries operate F-35s. When American F-35s fly with British, Italian, or Japanese F-35s, they share data seamlessly. One sensor network spanning nations and continents. April 2025 combat action, Navy F-35Cs shot down multiple Houthi drones over the Red Sea. First Navy variant combat engagements, flawless missions. Lockheed Martin delivered 170 to 190 aircraft in 2024. Record production year. The F-35 functions as the quarterback in the sky. It connects everything: fighters, bombers, ships, ground forces, satellites. Pilots see the entire battle space. When one launches a weapon, every friendly asset knows instantly. Pilots describe it simply: this is the aircraft you take into combat when your life depends on coming home. One the untouchable king. Number 1. F-22 Raptor. Only 187 built. Production ended in 2012. Yet this remains the most feared aircraft on Earth. Why? Because nothing can touch it. Stealth first. The F-22's radar cross-section equals a marble. Enemy radars see nothing until the Raptor is inside missile range. By then, engagement is over. Engines produce 70,000 pounds of thrust combined. Power-to-weight ratio enables vertical acceleration like a rocket ship. Supercruises at Mach 1.8 without afterburners. Kicks to Mach 2.25 when needed. Thrust vectoring nozzles move independently, directing power in physics-defying ways. The F-22 points its nose at targets while flying different directions. Stops mid-air and pivots. Pilots call it super maneuverability. Opponents call it terrifying. October 2025 brought extraordinary developments. An F-22 pilot controlled an MQ-20 Avenger stealth drone during flight using a tablet computer. One pilot commanding manned fighter and unmanned drones simultaneously. The F-22 surpassed 500,000 flight hours in 2025. June strikes against Iranian nuclear facilities saw F-22s suppressing defenses before B-2 bombers delivered payloads. Missions succeeded without losses. Upgrades continued despite production ending 13 years ago. New AIM-260 missiles. Enhanced electronic warfare. Radar updates. The F-22 evolves because these 187 jets must last until next-generation fighters arrive, still years away. Combat record speaks volumes, never defeated in air-to-air combat. Not once. Not by anyone. Ever. It flies into the most dangerous airspace on Earth and dominates completely. Pilots describe it as owning the night. When F-22s are near, enemies hide or run. Each costs over $140 million, possibly $300 million, including development. Expensive, yes. But you're purchasing invincibility. The F-22 represents the absolute pinnacle of American aerospace engineering. every nation wishes they possessed it. Russia tried copying with Su-57, China with J-20, neither succeeded. The Raptor stands alone, untouchable, undefeated, unstoppable. 5 fighters, 5 philosophies. One undeniable truth. The United States builds the most feared, most capable, most dominant combat aircraft in the world. The F-22 and F-35 aren't just ahead of competitors, they operate in a completely different league. China builds numbers. Russia builds propaganda. Europe builds workhorses. America builds legends. Our pilots train harder. Our engineers think smarter. Our military commands the skies because we refuse to accept second place. The J-20's stealth and production numbers are impressive. The Su-57's agility looks good in air shows. The Typhoon's maneuverability wins exercises. The F-35's network changes battlefields. But the F-22's untouchable dominance defines what air superiority actually means in 2025. It's not just the best fighter jet flying today. It's the standard every other nation tries desperately to reach and consistently fails to achieve. The sky isn't just contested territory, it's American domain. And we're not surrendering it to anyone. If this breakdown changed how you see modern air combat, hit that subscribe button. We break down military technology without the hype, just facts, analysis, and real combat data. Drop a comment. Which fighter impressed you most? Would you trust your life to the J-20's numbers, the Su-57's agility, or the F-22's proven dominance? Thanks for watching. The sky belongs to those who build the best machines and train the best pilots. In 2025, that's still America. And it's not even close.